Boom. And we're live.
Boom. Welcome. Wait a second. Get some little housekeeping in order here.
Excited to bring you the first ever live stream episode 35. A lot to talk about, even though there's not a lot going on in baseball. We always figure out a way.
I can't get the link for the Twitter.
Well, you win some, you lose some. A lot of times you just get wet.
That's all right. We'll let it rock. All right. Welcome to a live edition. If you're catching it live, we appreciate you being here. If you're not catching it live, we also appreciate you being here. Listen to us in your car, wherever you are during this quarantine, hopefully actually just in your house. But welcome to episode 35 of Boys at 161st Street. I am one of your hosts, as you can see. My name is Luke Rella. I'm here with my boys, the other boys of 161st Street.
Damn it, this is like reverse, so it's like I go left, right, I go right, it goes left.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
So you can see that. You can see our little cartoons in the bottom. Where am I? I'm on the bottom right. That's me over there.
I'm the one with the better beard on the right as well.
Yeah, that's how
you It's kind of bullshit because when the logo first came out, our beards were pretty comparable. You had me by a little bit, but not as much as what was shown in the logo. But now, because I've had to shave a little bit, it's pretty good.
I've made it my duty, I think, because of this logo that came out. I just need to grow my beard out, and I've been embracing it ever since.
Because they made your beard you looked like a superhero. For some reason, you were.
What do you expect? I just gotta grow it out now. I gotta make it thicker and better.
You gotta get to the gym too. They made you enormous.
Well, the good thing is that you can only see this part, so no one knows what the bottom half looks like. So.
Good point.
I just told everybody that never shave. Rico said never shave. Yeah, I haven't.
Never again. What happened with me was I had my beard pretty big, and I was normal shape and whatever. And then I went to go fishing with a couple of my buddies, but was trying to get the mask to fit, and I had to wear one, and the mask wouldn't fit, so I had to.
I had the
illest
beard hair the other day because I was wearing a mask and it was all to the side. When I took it off, it was just like it was all over here.
Yeah,
that's why
I'm trying to get it back.
That's why I shaved like those sides because it was like I couldn't fit the mask on.
That's wild.
Quarantine, man.
That's how you know which one I am in the cartoon because I'm the only one doesn't have a beard and I'm not Kev.
Yeah, you're right. I'm never going to shave. You're right.
When I shaved mine, though, it was kind of funny because even the chin that I left used to be way longer. So I had like an Anthony Rendon thing going on where everything was shaved except the chin part of the goatee, which was going down, kind of far.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
It had pulling the goatee off. I got to say, you're definitely pulling the goatee off.
I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll see. Hopefully it comes back soon.
Now's the time to try new things.
This is a good conversation to have, too.
Experimenting.
One of the pod topics is about some Yankee beards. We got a voicemail about best Yankee beards since they have left or before, but we'll get into that later. Before we start, we got some actual good news to talk about. Before we start, how you guys feeling today?
Great. Actually feeling great. Did a lot of DIY today.
A lot of DIY.
Good stuff. Yeah. Haven't done much.
Hello.
It's pretty average.
Chicks do love the beard, but what was I going to say? All right, whatever. Actually, before we get into the baseball, I wanted to get your guys' opinion because I know you're both Jet fans. And what was your opinion on the draft? How did it go for you guys?
I'll give the outsider look because I'm not too involved in the football scouting as much as Murph is, but I don't know. We had. I'm just happy we didn't take a defensive lineman. We took an offensive lineman for the first time in 26 years, so that was nice. Is either that or a wide receiver, and we went with one of them. I was surprised we got a quarterback in the fourth round, though. That was the one that surprised.
You were surprised you got a quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm an Eagles fan.
I know, but but Wentz is
Jalen Hurts.
At least you got a recognizable quarterback, and Wentz is kind of iffy.
Wentz is very good, and I'll talk about that for a second. I'm very happy with Wentz, but I actually have had time to think about it because at first I was so caught off guard as I should be. But I'm happy they got it. It's a good insurance policy the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree.
If he
Or
inevitably goes down in week 14, misses 2 games or something, we could still end up doing well. We had Josh McCown, who didn't really get it going on for us. So.
Oh, we've had Josh McCown. Don't worry.
I think everyone's had Josh McCown.
Yeah, he's been around. He's been around. Yeah, I was happy with the offensive line. I like Becton. I think he's huge, so that was cool.
He's a massive man.
I wanted CeeDee Lamb really bad.
I did too.
I kind of hated to see him go. We got the kid from was he from Baylor? I'm forgetting already. It's like Mims or whoever the receiver was in the second round. He was looking pretty good. So yeah, they did it all right. We'll see. No Jamal Adams this year though. I don't think.
I hope not.
All right. So
let's get into baseball.
Let's get into our first baseball.
Let's get into baseball.
So we're actually, I'm feeling good. I mean, we got new, I don't know. For some reason, I was feeling good before we got this news, but then Jeff Passan comes out with an article and basically gives us hope. This just came out 4 hours ago. Jeff Passan tweeted out an article and some key points from it. I'm not going to just sit here and read the entire article to you guys, but some key points from it. One cool part was, yes, we'll over the past 2 weeks, as it states, have begun to plan their reopenings. Nearly everyone along the decision-making continuum, league officials, players, union leaders, owners, doctors, politicians, TV power brokers, team executives. It's a long list of people, but basically everybody's on the same page saying that there has grown increasingly optimistic that there will be baseball this year. So that's cool. That's really cool to me. I mean, because that just come out of left field because we've been feeling like we've been making no strides and this just gives everybody a little bit of hope. And another excerpt I wanted to point out, what gives Manfred and others so much confidence that there will be a season, and Manfred responded and said incentives. It's not just that everybody wants a season, it's the doom and gloom over what will happen if there isn't one, which I agree with. And
yeah,
I don't really necessarily, I agree with that, but I don't agree with the reasoning as to why they're confident because that's just saying, it would be so bad if we didn't have it, so we're gonna have it,
Yeah, it's almost like we're not trying to have it because that's what we should be doing. We're trying to have it because, oh shit, if we don't have it, then the aftermath is going to be 1,000% worse. I'm all for it, regardless of how we get baseball. I just want it to happen. If it's in Arizona, if it's on Mars, if it's in New York, I don't care. I want to watch something. And a lot of people get pushback on it's not going to be the same. Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but put it in perspective. Would you rather not? You either watch baseball on the TV, which I guarantee. What percent of games do you think you watch on TV?
Everyone we don't go to.
Yeah, you probably watch upwards of 95% of games on TV. So the actual experience of you watching the game, it's not going to change a whole lot. I know that it's going to change for a couple of people. It's going to change for the players a lot too. Like the playing field of, I know they're talking about putting players in the stands or limited mound visits and limiting contact with people, which I think that's when you start to get a little iffy on the rules. But I know, again, whichever way we can have baseball, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. I just think the tricky part is going to be, having who's going to be allowed in the stadium during these. That they're going to have to be on TV. There's going to have to be X amount of people. So the idea for Arizona was to basically have everybody down there. Is it going to be that way? Or are they still going to be traveling city to city? So that's the thing. And the plan's going to be in place by May 31st. So we'll see.
Yeah. And I feel like we're more likely to have a central location that players are going to be playing. I can't see a world where we're just going to open up and start traveling everywhere again. And I know that Cuomo said something about, we have baseball in the summer. There's no stands.
New York Governor Cuomo envisions baseball games being played at Yankee Stadium and Citi Field without fans this summer. So on that, I mean, politics aside, anything else like that, this is strictly a baseball podcast, but that just doesn't make any sense to me because, obviously New York is still going to be a little bit of a wreck no matter what time in the summer, whenever it's going to be. If games are going to be played without fans, why does it matter if they're played in Citi Field and Yankee Stadium? I don't care. Like the benefit of it being Yankee Stadium and Citi Field is that I can go to the game. What does it matter at all if if it's gonna be televised? I don't care if there are people in this if it's in New York,
yeah, I get that.
You're pushing it. Like why? I don't get why even.
Yeah, the whole point of having games at your home field and the away field is for fan engagement and crowd engagement, and to have that aspect of the game, which is going to completely change. Think about. I know I hate bringing this up, but the Astros at away teams this year, they're not going to get that. They're going to get the same level of fan volume and engagement that every other team's going to get.
Could you imagine they still get thrown at?
I think they will. I think they will because the players are mad too.
I would love it because then it would just be, I don't know. Then it's just like the players just being just so mad. Like they didn't do that because they fed from the crowd or anything like that. Like they just came in that day and said, "I'm going to hit this guy," and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to brawl after. And it's going to be cool. And then it's going to literally be like the WWE. They're going to make it televised and have the bell ring and everything. They said they were going to do a whole show almost more entertaining since it's going to be no fans in this time. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to see. If they do the whole no fans on just TV games, I think they're going to do some things with the broadcast that they haven't done before. Like, for example, miking up players, maybe they'll show the 7th inning stretch to make people feel like they're there. Maybe the Yankees guys are still doing the YMCA and it's just on TV or something. You never know. That kind of thing would be kind of cool to see.
But that's a good point though, because if the MLB is preparing to do this and have games with no fans, and then they just keep it normal, like a normal broadcast, I'm gonna be you have to take advantage of opportunity and do something different like that.
Yeah,
they will.
Well, because every inning between batters and between pitches, they pan over the crowd. What are they just gonna? They're just gonna pan over empty seats. They're gonna have to fill that.
Kiss Cam.
I think there's gonna I think they should start. Maybe interviewing guys in the bullpen that aren't playing more. Kind of like an all-star gamey type thing for certain games at least, and sort of play with that.
It has the potential to be fun.
Yeah,
it's not the same, but fun.
Yeah, and for all those people that I know everybody comments and tweets and all that stuff, and then people are saying if it's not going to be the same, I don't want to see it. Shut up. Just stop. You're we're gonna if you get anything, if we get that round robin tournament, I'm gonna watch it. You're not gonna not watch. Bullshit to me. Everyone's oh, if it's not the same, why don't we just wait until it's real? You want to wait a year,
maybe more.
Think about how long that's going to be until opening day 2021. You want to wait that long just because it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be this year?
Yeah.
No. If they play a home run derby to decide who wins the World Series, I'm watching it. I'm watching whatever they give me, and that's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Something I noticed that was funny to me was obviously you saw the Chinese league and stuff like that, the Rakuten monkeys, that team. Mm-hmm. They walked it off or something. I watched a highlight of it. I didn't watch the game, but something funny that I noticed was that they had the cutouts of fans in the stands.
That's funny.
I think I also saw an article. I don't know if this is true, but it was about how the MLB might do the same thing. Do you think they'll do the same thing? I think that's weird. I think that's totally weird.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think that's overseas thing that they'll take advantage of.
The thing I did see was that people can send in their pictures and I guess pay to put their picture out in the stands. I don't know if they pay or they just send it in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the way the MLB is going to try and raise money since they won't buy tickets. But if they do that, we're sending in just a Bronx Pinstripes group, and we'll put the BP faces out there. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Again, they can make it. Yeah, they can make the engagement fun if they try.
I just thought that was weird to me.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see it either way. I'm excited to see some sort of baseball.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I wasn't planning on talking about anything about we're not getting baseball on this podcast or anything else like that, but we did get hope, so that's why we brought it up.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to sit here and literally tell you every single episode, be oh yeah, so we're still not getting baseball. No, we got something new, so we talked about it. But now another little bit of news that we got was the Red Sox decision. Obviously, that we're not going to spend too much time on this because it's really not that big a deal. But basically, they just got a slap on the wrist, which I'm not upset about. Like, it's completely different from what the Astros did. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on that. But basically, what happened was, before we talk about it, what happened was they basically lost a second-round pick in 2020. The funny thing, their replay operator, JT Watkins, is banned from all of baseball in 2020 and banned from being the replay operator in 2021. But he can have a different job other than video operator. So that's he's basically just the fall guy.
Yeah.
Just the replay operator. And I thought that was weird that he can just have any other job. I don't know. They basically probably told him, hey, listen, we need a name.
Bite the bullet.
We need a name to send him. Just be our guy. We'll take care of you. And then the last piece was Alex Cora is banned for the season, but it's only because of the Astros, not the Red Sox. So
yeah,
I'm not. I don't care about this. I don't give a shit. I just.
I think I've said it a million times before. I think this whole thing's been beat to death, and this is like we've been so sick of it, and it came so late that.
But it's not the same as the Astros. I'm trying to say. Like it's
exactly. No, I agree. Yeah,
punishment because it wasn't the same thing. It was gamesmanship.
It wasn't the same thing whatsoever.
What they did, obviously, everybody knows. They took the signs and they just went through the chain of people, and then if you have a man on second, they did it that way. Which
I'm not nearly as upset. They suck anyway. They're gonna suck for the next 4 or 5 years. So that's their punishment. I'm done talking about the Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't even have anything to say on it. We can move on. I'm glad it's over. That's it. I'm glad everything's out and we don't have to wait for anything else. I just
thought it was funny that the MLB tried to sweep it under the rug and release it the same night as the draft. Just like here.
And 100.
Yeah, that's typical.
By the way, the thing we've been looking at forever, we didn't find anything, so just here. And here's the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So that was funny to me. I just wanted to bring it up, just talk a little bit about that. But honestly, Michael Kay said this on the Michael Kay show, that his bold prediction is that Cora will be the manager of the Red Sox in 2021. And I don't even think that's that hot of a take.
I think I could see him taking him back.
And they love him.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, like, think about it. He didn't get in trouble. Like, he didn't get his suspension for what he did with the Red Sox. So it's, I guess, forgivable for them. I don't think it'd be the best look for them if they did take him back, but I wouldn't be that shocked if they did. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I agree with him, but just because they love him. But anyway, that was just a little recap of news we got for the week. We did get some voicemails, so we'll play the first voicemail for us. This one was an interesting one, so I'll play that for you right now.
All right, ladies and gentle schmeezes, G Lims here, coming at you with a question of the day. So my question for you guys is, who had the best facial hair once they left the Yankees? And with that being said, I'd like to give a nice shout out to Jason Fat Stash Giambi.
Thank you.
Yeah, Giambi had a good one.
Thank you, Greg. That was honestly, this is a fun question. So we're gonna spend some time on this one because the funny thing with the Yankees, obviously, they have that rule with the beard, and you can have a mustache, but no beard. I think it's below the lip. What is the rule, Mer?
Yeah, so they can't have it. It's like kind of the military rule. I think you can't go below the lip. So your mustache can only come to here, nothing below. And then the back of your head can't touch the collar. Like your hair can't be long enough to touch your collar.
Yeah. So I think this is funny because there are so many players, obviously, that you see current Yankees that are, because you're allowed to grow them out in the offseason, and obviously the offseason extended. So it's just funny to see who doesn't like the rule, who wants to have a beard. And then obviously when you see players leave, they grow out the beard immediately. And then it's just funny to see that. And like obviously pre-Yankee beards, like people had beards before. So I don't know. Let's just talk about who we think had the. What was the question? It was who had the best beard?
Best beard. It was after leaving the Yankees.
Well, let's open it up and say
we can just do whatever.
The best beard when they weren't on the Yankees.
Yeah, I think we're looking at the photos earlier.
I'll share my
Jabba Chamberlain, man. That thing is vicious, and that is one of my favorite ones for sure.
Yeah, I got the Jabba picture up right here.
Jabba's, where is it at? Jabba's. Oh my god! Look at that
Jabba
thing.
had the craziest beard because it's just funny.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's funny to see him. Like obviously, that thing's been growing.
Look at that thing.
Since he left the Yankees.
Yeah,
like that. He has not shaved that since he played a game with the
Since his
Yankees.
final out. Yeah.
it looked like he used Scott's Miracle Grow on his face.
Whatever he's using, I want some of that. I want to test out the beard, see if I can get it going.
But that beard
I don't
is
think
just,
so.
yeah, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see after not shaving for a career on the Yankees.
Yeah, look at that thing.
There must be something with Yankees going to the Tigers and just getting beards because Romine's is pretty hefty right now.
True.
Too.
Yeah,
Also on
Romine was
Tigers.
lethal.
I was literally about to pull up Romine's too, but
Yeah,
there's some Romine literally because we saw Romine's beard in spring training, so obviously he had been growing that thing out the second he left because, I mean, it's just nuts.
Yeah.
Austin Romine.
What year was that, Rella? Do you know? Does it say on that shirt? I can't tell.
When
You can just see his Tommy John scar
did the
too. That's kinda
Tigers-
funny.
when did the Tigers win the AL Central?
And he put
2014,
So 2014 then.
I think, maybe. You can just see. Look at how big the scar is on his arm too from the Tommy
Yeah.
John.
Didn't he put a
Oh, wow.
smiley face on it? I think he did.
Yeah, that's
look
what
at
the
that
two
thing.
eyes are. Yeah, that's impressive.
Like Romine,
He looks a little.
Romine hasn't shaved since he left.
But the
He just
difference
looks like
between this
somebody.
one is the difference between this is you can tell like he probably didn't have a beard before the Yankees, and then he just decided to go all out, and that's why it seems untamed.
I don't know though. Dude.
He just seems like the kind of guy that got really upset that he got traded from the Yankees to the Tigers and just kind of let himself go.
Yeah, that's true. He just kind of
But
like,
like
grew it
in a
out.
loving way, because I love Romine. But like he just looks. There's sadness in his eyes in that picture, and I think it's from being traded to the Tigers or signed by the
Yeah, but
Tigers.
it's not well kept. He didn't know how to. He doesn't know how to keep it up.
Yeah,
He just growing out just to fucking grow it out.
Dude,
true.
I don't know. This is the back hit next to each other. Like it's just
yeah.
that is literally like the last out, and then he just like he has the follicles clearly. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. The Romine,
kidding, yeah.
Romine's a big one to me, and it was funny because we noticed that when we were at spring training, and we were like, "Is that Romine?" Because we saw the Tigers game, and we are like, "There's no way that's Romine, is it?"
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Romine. But no, Damon, I had a few more. Let's go through. Because
The biggest one I think of is Damon. He did. I'm obviously not after, but beforehand, he had
Johnny
the big one.
Damon.
Johnny Damon.
Johnny Damon, yeah, he and the hair too.
Yeah, Johnny Damon had it going.
Yeah, Damon.
That's the pre-Yankees. He just has it with the long hair, everything.
Yeah, he pulls it off.
Weird.
I used to have this Yankees yearbook from must have been. I don't know what year it was even, but it was the year that we got Damon, and it had like this chapter in it, kind of about when Damon got his haircut when he came to the Yankees, and like a bunch of before, during, after pictures of while he was actually getting it cut. It's kind of cool.
I mean, it's just cool to see. Like, to me, the rule helps people and it hurts some people. Like Damon, it hurts him. Like he looks obviously a lot better with a beard.
Mm-hmm.
Other people, it definitely helps. Like Tanaka over here. Tanaka, I don't know if it's the combination of the Santa suit and the little goatee, but
People hate on it. Just because it's not full doesn't mean it doesn't look good.
I don't think it looks good at all.
I support Tanaka just because I think it's his face that I like.
I like his face. Don't like the beard.
This is the third version of the beard. There's the pre-Yankees, post-Yankees, and the off-season Yankees. Glaber can rock the off-season beard. Glaber, he definitely has the beard going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the other, like the all-time, let's talk. There's different types of beards, obviously, that they got. Like he's got the clean Robbie Cano. He's got the clean beard. He clearly likes that, you know.
Robbie Cano that's like the perfect Robinson Cano beard. Like if
It's sort of like
no other. Yeah.
Melky's freaks me out.
I don't like people who don't have the connecting anything. It's just
Yeah, it's like the Encarnacion type beard, like before he came. That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, like have a little bit of a stash. I don't know. It freaks me out the heavy chin strap there.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Another interesting one was this is borderline not allowed, right? That's below the lip.
Borderline not allowed and just looks ridiculous.
That's
I don't think it looks bad, but yeah, it wasn't allowed under that little soul patch there.
Gary.
Show me Gary. Yeah,
Gary. There we go.
I love how
there we go.
He like his brand is I am Gary. Like we get it, Gary.
He just looks like a model. I am Gary.
Look at where he is too. Is that? Are we going to talk about that? He's going on a nature walk with like a Gucci bag.
I'm not that surprised.
I'm not surprised either. But going in a different route here, some of this rule helped some people and it hurt some people. People that it hurt were this guy right here.
Oh my God. Chasen
Shreve looked like a little rat with no beard. And he ended up looking not as bad with a beard. There. Yeah, he looks a lot better with a beard, you know?
Maybe that's why he sucked with the Yankees and isn't that bad with the Cardinals.
Is he not that bad with the Cardinals?
I mean, he's better than he was with the Yankees.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he had a really good season, either last year or season before.
That sucks.
But it's all in the beard. It's all the mojo.
But people that it hurt, people that it helped, I think D-Rob looked so clean with no beard, and then he ended up getting a beard. He doesn't look bad, but he definitely looks a lot cleaner.
Nah, he looks fine. I
think he looks better with a beard.
Yeah, I think he looks better
really?
too. Yeah.
He looks better no beard.
He definitely looks good no beard, but I think most people look better with a beard, including him.
Yeah. And then there's the acceptable beard. This seems like a PowerPoint presentation. Then there's the acceptable beard that is no beard. I mean, there's the acceptable rule with the Yankees. That's the classic sheriff stash.
That's just lethal.
You could see he literally went straight to that lip and then just like he did as much as he possibly could, as much as he was allowed to do.
Could you imagine making your MLB debut and having to face Jason Giambi stepping into the left-handed batter's box with that thing on his face?
No.
I'd be so scared. Oh my God.
I would not throw to him.
No.
I would not throw to him. And that's the shout out that G Limbs gave to us for this. But honestly, to wrap this beard thing up, and then we'll vote who had the best all-time beard to answer Greg's question. I'm happy about the rule because things like this wouldn't happen. That is just disgusting. I know it's a joke, but I hope it's a joke. But things like that would never happen on the Yankees. And if the Athletics had a rule, we wouldn't be seeing this Mike Fiers thing. So I'm actually glad they have the ability to get beards because this was funny.
Yeah.
And that ends my PowerPoint presentation on Yankees beards through time. So
not very much time, but a couple years, about 10 years. Because we got some people in the comments about Munson. Munson had a full. I think it was during. I could be wrong, but I think it was during like the Munson era that they started the whole no beard thing. And I think he went from a full beard to the mustache, and he had probably one of the cooler mustaches in MLB history too.
Yeah. So if we had to vote, who's your favorite? We don't say best. We'll just say favorite beard. Yankee post Yankee beard.
I'm still going with Java. I think that thing is just. You can't beat it. I think you can't beat it. It's the best one I've seen.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with that. For the sake of argument, I'll say Jason Shreve because it seemed like not only did he get a cool beard, but he turned his career around a little bit because of it.
And he looked a little better. He didn't look like
look good, feel good.
He doesn't look like Jesse Pinkman anymore from Breaking Bad. If I had to cast a vote just to be different from you guys, I might just go. I might go with Bromine just because of how interesting I thought it was because he clearly hated the rule. Like he had been growing that thing out the second he left the Yankees and just how quickly it grew. That's insane.
Yeah.
Damon, could your beard grow that fast?
No, mine doesn't grow that fast. Mine grows this way, not that way.
Yeah, because your beard, his is twice the size of your beard, and in like probably a month.
Yeah.
How much time is it from the end of the season to the start of spring?
Also, think about it. They're clean shaving every time, so that it's just waiting to come out.
True.
You know, it's different.
So
I haven't been clean shaving in a while, so mine's just there.
So
it's true.
The best follicles in the game because
that's what they say.
Doing the shaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I used to do that when I got my first little piece of facial hair. After that, I'd shave every day to try to get it to grow.
Does that work?
I don't know.
I think it's a myth, but I think it's a myth.
It probably is a myth.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try it though.
I tried for like a week. I don't think anything's helping. But.
All right.
Anyway, let's get to our next voicemail from.
What's up, guys? My name's Neo. I'm from the Bronx. Huge fan of the podcast. I just had a question for you. If you could bring back one retired player to start now, who is it and why?
Question.
Right. Good question. I like that question. Thank you, Neo. It's like Neo from the Matrix.
You're the one.
I used to, from the fun fact, I used to think that they were saying Neil, like Neil Walker.
That's the first Neil that you thought of?
No.
No,
I'm
saying as a comparison, you thought Neil Walker of all.
Yeah, I'm a big Yankee. I don't know. That's all I think about.
He's not.
That's funny. I used to always think it was Neil. Whenever I would quote that, I'd say, "You're the one, Neil." And everybody was, I think Matt it was like, "What?
Neil.
What did you just say?"
This is an interesting question because it's
There's
not
some
the
routes
best.
You could go with it.
It's not the best player. It could be the best player, but if you're saying today, it's based on the current needs of the team.
That's what I was saying. That's
which is very, very different than the best player.
Yeah, there's the obvious answer that people could go with, but let's start with Murph because he told me his answer. I don't want to steal it because I usually do that.
Yeah, that's true. So I pondered this a lot. I had a few, and like positionally, I don't want to say who I was thinking about because you might have thought of one of them, but I thought the best one that I could think of was Roger Clemens for now because I didn't know whether we're taking the generational gap because like you could say Babe Ruth, but is Babe Ruth as good as Babe Ruth was in 1930? Or is he the equivalent to that?
Right,
so I just thought Roger Clemens was the safest one because he didn't play far enough ago. He'd still be good. And I think him and Garrett Cole at the top of a rotation would be an unstoppable one too. So I'm going to go with Roger Clemens.
Yeah. And when we were talking about that, I loved that. Because initially we were thinking like the Jeter pick.
Jeter.
Probably go. And that's a cool way to put that because this question's interesting in that you have one position to fill and you can only field the 9 players. So where's the biggest need sort of thing? Like obviously you could take the best player and that'd be an upgrade over Glaber. And if we picked Jeter, who for sake of argument, and I'll pick Jeter for mine because then I'd take Jeter, put him at short, move Glaber to second, and then put DJ at first. And then we solve the first base issue. We don't really, Voit is good, but he's not really, or like he's not slated there over. I'd rather have DJ there. So in terms of like putting 9 out there, I think moving Jeter to short and then moving everybody around past that would be a good move. But I like what your head was at with that because in terms of just making the team stronger, and especially with Severino going down, adding your Clemens in time to that team with Garrett Cole. I mean, we've seen starting pitching win World Series or whatever we're going to get this year, like with the Nationals, Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin. Those two paired with obviously the Tanaka, Paxton, everybody like that, that would be scary.
Yeah, that was my thought process because if you go into a playoff, basically your top 3 guys in your rotation are most important in the playoffs. That's why the Astros were so successful the past few years. So if you had Roger Clemens and then Garrett Cole and playoff Tanaka as your 3 with Paxton and whoever else behind him or behind them, that'd be just lethal in the playoffs, I think.
Yeah. I would definitely go the same route. I'm not going to say Clemens. I was originally thinking about him, but I would definitely go starting pitcher. And I don't know. I was originally thinking about Pettit because it's nice. It's a strong lefty arm in a rotation that really only has Paxton as a lefty, and he's always a liability or just very inconsistent. So I was thinking about Pettit as my go-to. I think starting pitching is definitely the way to go for bringing somebody back.
Yeah, I could see that. But I mean, obviously, there wouldn't be any wrong answer in this situation, but
there would be one if
the wrong answer.
I don't know. I can think of a couple, but
I mean, yeah, there's no wrong answer. Anything that we're gonna pick is not really a wrong answer. Like obviously, you could pick A-Rod. You could pick Bird over Gio. That'd be a very good pick. Actually, I might actually change my answer to that because then instead of shifting out Voigt's bat or something, we just take Gio out. And in terms of hitting, I'd take Voigt over Gio. You could go a bunch of different ways with that, but I think definitely the best answer would probably be I would
say that or first baseman. I'm thinking about it now.
I was thinking. I was so I had Mo in my head too. I didn't want to say Mo because I figured one of you guys were going to take Mo.
Yeah,
because I still think I would take Clemens over Mo because of how dominant our bullpen is anyway. But I think Mo you couldn't go wrong with.
What about first baseman though too? There's a lot of great Yankee first baseman, and that's the biggest hole in the lineup right now.
Yeah, because that would directly solve the issue that I was shifting and solving.
You got Tino, you got Giambi. You got Lou Gehrig, if we're going to go all the way back there. Mattingly. Don Mattingly.
Far back.
Yep, Mattingly.
We don't know about the translation, but
we can decide. I mean, we're deciding. So
did Mickey Mantle play a couple first base?
He was in the outfield.
We're not going to
throw him in there and see what happens.
We're not going to soil Mickey and throw him at first. Like he's coming in, he's playing the outfield.
Yeah, true.
What are we going to keep like Brett Gardner out there over Mickey Mantle? I don't think so. I mean, I'm all for Brett, but I don't think
Gardner's coming off his best year. I don't know.
Speaking of beards, I wish Brett Gardner could have a beard. I would love to see the bald with the beard. I think he'd look good with a beard.
I have to strongly disagree with that.
I think he'd look good with it.
I don't think he would look good with that.
I think he would.
I'll put Romine's beard on Gardner, and we'll see how it looks.
No, well, don't put Romine's beard. You got to get one that fits.
I'll throw it on the screen right now. Boop. Not now, obviously later when I edit it, but I don't know. I don't think he would look good with a beard.
Yeah, I disagree as well.
I'd have to say I think he would look good.
No. So I like that question. So that'll end our voicemails for this episode. Going forward, definitely send us in your voicemails. The number, it's on our Twitter. It's pinned to the top. Send those in. We'll play them on the pod and react to them. Anything you want. Questions, topics, reactions, how you're feeling during the quarantine, anything. We'll talk about anything. The next topic I wanted to talk about was a debate that we put up on the Twitter. It was, could Judge be the next captain? And I have my opinions on this, but if one of you want to start.
I'll go ahead. He is a very, very different conversation than
maybe could he?
Can he or could he be? You're gonna hate me saying this, but I just think it's if there's anyone to be Yankee captain, he's going to be Yankee captain. If that happens, is a very big if. I was taking a look earlier today about Derek Jeter's career before he became captain. And Derek Jeter became captain in 2003 after playing 8 seasons with the Yankees. And he put up a pretty spectacular stat line up until 2003. He was, top 10 MVP voting 4 different times, Rookie of the Year, All-Star. It's a very, very impressive resume, and that, along with his natural-born leadership and just Derek Jeter being Derek Jeter, that was the inevitable conclusion that he was going to be the Yankee captain. I think Judge is on the way. I think he has that charisma to be the leader, the team leader that, really defines what a Yankee captain should be. He is like the perfect Yankee. He's shown leadership. He's, been the top MVP person for 1 year and was it 12th? I'm looking at it right now. He's the 12th MVP voting before that. And I think that if he keeps this up and puts more consistent stat lines together and stays healthy and continues to be the player that we all hope that he can be, there's potential for it for sure.
I kind of am with you on the whole not being able to decide whether he should or shouldn't be and whether he will or will not be. But I've just been looking at the past, but even before Jeter, and the names that it's Thurman Munson, Greg Nettles, Willie Randolph, Ron Guidry, Mattingly, Jeter. And then that's since Lou Gehrig. So then it was Ruth, Everett Scott, Lou Gehrig before that. So since
Yankee legends. All Yankee legends.
So Gehrig stopped in 1939, and then Munson took over in 76. That's like a 30-year gap.
Yeah.
And then it's still after that, it's only been, 4 or 5 guys. I don't know if Judge fits in that company yet. Could he? Definitely. But he's also getting kind of, he's, 28, 29 right now.
Yeah.
He's kind of pushing that.
And
I don't know. He'd need more time.
And you look at those names, they are, again, the Yankee legends. If we're not ready to say, I can't even put those words together. There's a long way to go, but I think the potential is there.
And like there's some guys that just Yankee legends that aren't on this list.
Yeah,
and some of the best, like Mickey Mantle isn't on this list, and he's one of the greatest Yankees of all time. Yogi Berra is not on this list. Just so many people, and he would just need to. I think it would be pretty extenuating circumstances for him to actually become a captain. Do I think he'd do a good job? Yes. Is he the face of the Yankees? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do I love the guy? Yeah. Is he a captain? I think the best part of the Yankee captain is that it's such an elite company, and I think if we were to give it to him now or in the next few years, it would be premature.
Yeah, so my thought process here to play devil's advocate, because you both don't think the question is, could he be? Not right now. So I think absolutely he could be and what makes a captain from the names you listed, obviously their performance on the field, their performance as a career, their resume and all that stuff, MVP numbers, which obviously Judge has because we're going to indirectly give him that one because he definitely won stats-wise and Altuve cheated, whatever. So he has my point being he has the caliber to put up MVPs, multiple MVPs. Hopefully, if he can stay on the field, that's the one thing. He hasn't been able to stay on the field all the time. But the one thing he has in common with everybody who is a captain is the charisma, like the captain-like attitude. Like he has the Jeter-like responses to the media. He knows how to handle himself. He knows how to handle others. So you saw that with Clint and how he used to always handle him. And when he was gone, an interesting thing is when he was gone on injury and he was rehabbing, that's when Clint freaked out. And they have lockers right next to each other. And I don't know if we're going to read too deeply into that, but that's just an interesting thing to note that when he was gone, Clint went out of control. So it just shows how much Judge brings to the table, emotionally, and that's what you need as a captain. Yes, he doesn't. The counter argument that everybody's making on Twitter and you guys is, and I buy into it too, is that he is not injury prone. I don't want to say that because I know there have been fluke injuries, and I'm a big supporter in that he's not injury prone, but he needs to stay on the field for the next couple seasons. He needs to put up these numbers for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
He needs to keep doing that. But I think if he does that, I think the harder thing to do to become a captain, he's already done. He already has the emotional aspect of a captain.
Yeah, his player characteristics play in perfectly to what a captain should be. Completely agree with that. I think the only thing that's holding him back is you look at what defines an actual captain, right? It's being able to stay on the field and be that role model for the rest of the team and be the person who has that experience on the field, who has that playoff experience, who can show the rest of the team the right direction and lead them on the path towards another World Series. And that's what a Yankee captain should be. What?
Path to righteousness.
Yeah, exactly. But
I think,
go ahead, Murph.
I just think the biggest thing that we're kind of overlooking is that Jeter is the epitome of the Yankees captain. He's at least for our generation, he is the Yankee captain, and it took him 7 years to get named the Yankee captain. So we're looking at 4 or 5 years now about before Judge would get named captain if it was anything like Jeter. And those 4 and 5 years he would have to show us even more than he already has, even though he's a spectacular player and he's a spectacular Yankee. But that just goes to show how renowned and difficult it is to be a Yankee captain. And I think that's just I would love to see him fill that shoe and be a Yankee captain, but it's a big
shoes to fill for
Jeter. I get it. I'm just saying, in terms of the question, could he be? I think yes. I think he possesses all of the aspects. He checks all the boxes to be a captain. He just needs to keep doing it for the next, I don't know how many years. I don't know how many years would be acceptable to name a captain. I'd say 5 more years if he is acting like this for the next 5 years. Maybe he stays on the field a little more.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree with that. 4 or 5 years.
In the year
if he
2025.
continues this, if he continues this up, is still a Yankee and is continuing to be this level of captainness. And
I literally, the way that sentence was moving, I knew you were gonna make up some word that
captainness.
that captainness.
It's like How I Met Your Mother, where he goes the impossible.
I thought you were gonna
impossible.
you're gonna say captaincy or captain.
Either way, whatever.
I don't know. I think 2025 is the year that we're going to judge on being a captain. I think let's revisit it then. But to spin this a little bit, do you think he is the only one on the captain watch right now? Is there anybody else in mind that you think could be a captain? Are they born yet? Do you think anybody else?
I think he's the only one that's active rockster Yankee. Somebody in the comments mentioned Guardy, kind of a cool concept. Like he's wonderful, great Yankee. Too old, obviously not a captain, but great Yankee.
Maybe honorary for a year, like his last.
Yeah, but they don't do that. That's the whole point of it. Is that they don't do honorary captains. It's such an exclusive list that you can't be like, oh, this guy's like, it'd be cool if he got it, so he should get it, kind of thing. It's like you need to be like, it needs to be so obvious that it's not a debate before he gets it.
It's nothing against Guardy either. He's the definition of a perfect Yankee. It's just he's just not.
He lacks some aspects of captain.
Yeah, he has the like leadership. He has all that. But I mean, just not that I don't like. I like this. I like when he bangs, but captains don't bang on the roof like that. Jeter does. Could you see Jeter doing the let Brett bang thing? No.
If we're sitting here arguing about whether or not somebody should be the captain, they should be the captain. It should be like Jeter. In 2003, nobody was probably objecting Derek Jeter to be the captain, at least not in a big way.
No, I know. So I think to in conclusion, whether we mentioned it, just he could be. I think Judge is the only one on that ballot, and it's up to him to decide whether he can sustain that. Another fun DM that we got, actually. I'll leave that to the end, actually. Next topic I wanted to go through was top 5 players under 25. So, obviously, we have a lot of players that are under 25. We got some young guys, the baby bombers, but the one that comes to mind that I wanted to see where he fits on this list was Gleyber Torres, none other than GT right here. Got the new
see that.
Can't even see it.
Can't see it.
And just to clarify, this is the entire MLB.
Entire MLB. Yeah, I mean, I think he fits somewhere on the list, but we'll see where you guys go with it. Murph, why don't you start us off?
So I wasn't totally sure whether we were including pitchers or not, but I put him.
Of course you could.
I told you, they're people too.
Okay, so with pitchers, I put him 5. So I have Bellinger, then Acuna, then Soto, then Jack Flaherty, and then Gleyber. So if we're not doing pitchers, he's 4th.
Flaherty.
I have the exact same list.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that is the list. Damon, what was your list?
Yeah, I had honorable mention was Moncada.
Yeah, Moncada's he's later on my list too.
Yeah, I think he'd be 5, Gleyber 4, and then I have Soto, Acuna, and Bellinger.
So read from top to bottom. You just went out of order.
Yeah, you went. Like,
I was reading.
You went
reading
5,
my list.
4, 2, 3, 1.
I was reading my list as I was scrolling, so it was coming up as I was reading it.
You went out of order. That was ridiculous.
I think it's Bellinger, Acuna, Soto, and then Gleyber, Moncada.
Yeah, so I think we're all in agreement on at least for the top 3: Bellinger, Acuna, Soto.
I don't think there's a lot of debate to that.
I don't think there's any movement with
that. They're top players in the league regardless of age.
Yeah, and the interesting thing though, Bellinger is 24, so when he turns 25, then might be Gleyber's time to shine. But being 5 on that list is not a bad thing. Like, we love Gleyber. We're not downplaying how great Gleyber is. These are all great players, and I could see some people making the argument that he is a little higher on the list, but In terms of
I think 5's the highest he gets. Maybe 4 if you take Flaherty down. But there are some really good players that I had him up. So I have about probably 10 or 15 names on my screen right now that I had to make a list out of. And so he's above for me: Tatis, Devers, Albies, Alvarez, Moncada. Those all are guys that could be 5 instead of Gleyber.
Shane Bieber, Devers.
Shane Bieber's up there. Yeah.
Devers.
I said Devers, but Devers. Like I think there's some really good talent in the MLB under 25.
To me, this is why it was a fun topic, is because the players under 25, like not only are they, I'm saying the top 5 players under 25, the majority of the league's talent is under 25. That's why it's a cool thing that not only are they just the best young players, but the league is young. Like the league is,
which really, like, I really started to notice that because when we started watching baseball, the league was young. Like it's always been young.
Yeah.
But when they started to replay all the games back in the 80s and 90s, there's some old, like, you just didn't see that. Like these are some grown ass men playing baseball in the 80s and 90s, and then now it's just all these young people. I feel like
people come up and not be the stars that they are now.
Yeah, and that's why I think the Griffeys and the Jeters of the world were like the first like young players to break the ice and
burst onto the scene.
Burst onto the scene. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like it was supposed to be people come up and then you get knocked back into your place. Like, welcome to the show. Like that's the thing. And
no, you're not kidding.
Not like that at all. Like,
and the kids showed up.
The kids are showing up. They got the Let the Kids Play movement, that dope commercial with Ken Griffey. That was sick. And he's like the last one to do it. Like, I mean,
it was about the turn of the century. When Jeter, Griffey, A-Rod, like that kind of, that's when it started for sure.
But now it's just everybody. Everybody's coming up. Like you got just Trevor Story when he came up and he lit the world on fire. You got just everybody. Tim Anderson winning the batting title.
Bryce Harper,
Trout,
Soto, Devers. There's so many. The list goes on.
Bryant, Gary.
The majority of the league's best players are all young, and it's just really cool to see, I think. And obviously, you got some people coming up like the Jason Dominguez's, who could be in that category. And if it's 20 years ago or however many years ago, I don't know, we might be talking about him not only because we're waiting for him to come up because he's 17, but then how long does it take until he makes an impact? Now we're talking first day impact. Like if he comes up, he could be making an impact that day. I remember we were at, I don't know which one of you guys were there with us, but I was at Gleyber's first game when he got called up, and he didn't get hit that day, but these young players are having impacts. Like you inject them in the lineup, that's instant buzz. Like you get instant juice out of like young studs that are just coming in and producing. It's crazy. And honestly, if we're revisiting the top 5, I think Flaherty did that for the Cardinals. Flaherty's back half of the season last year was historically great. Like he put a 0.91 ERA in the second half of baseball. Yeah. That's not only the best in Cardinals history, that's close to one of the best back halves in MLB history. He's the reason why they made the playoffs. And that's why he definitely gets number 4 on that list, because his season last year was just unbelievable. Yeah. But long story short, there's no problem being 5 on that list. That was my explanation for it.
Yeah, he's on 5 behind some of the most spectacular talent in the MLB aside from age.
And he's in that company. He is one of the most spectacular talents.
Yes, he is. And he's only getting better, which is scary.
Yeah. So our next topic I wanted to get into was our favorite players. We get into there's obviously no baseball, so let's talk about a little bit of our, because I honestly, our favorite players have shifted so much, and like the youth movement has come along. My favorite player currently on the Yankees is Gleyber Torres. As you can see, I have 2 jerseys on the wall, one you can't see, but I want to get your guys' opinion who your favorite Yankees are right now.
Murph.
I think Gleyber is also mine, but I also am a huge Tyler Wade guy, so I'll stick with Tyler Wade for now.
Oh my god. I don't know. I feel like a broken record saying Gleyber, but he's just so hard not to like, and it's just, he's like the ideal favorite player, and he's just so much fun to watch. And And I know I've said it a million times too, but I'm a huge Clint Frazier fan, so I hope he gets a chance to play, and he'll be my favorite player then.
So
yeah, and then honorable mention is Aaron Hicks because he's just Aaron Hicks is just such a phenomenal player and such an exciting player to watch.
You know, it's funny though. I didn't realize how much I loved Aaron Hicks until we did the mini episode on Hicks, and then I realized, wait, I think Hicks is my number 2. I think I really love Hicks. So I thought that was interesting because we did the gift thing too. Who had your favorite Yankees in gift form, and there were a lot of different ones. I was expecting like a lot of Gleyber's and a lot of Judges, but a lot of people love Gardy. Like I love Gardy too.
Yeah.
He's a lot of people's number 1, which was interesting.
I mean, yeah, he's been a Yankee for 10, 15 years.
Just interesting to see who's winning over the fans and how quickly Gleyber has become a lot of people's number 1s, which is crazy too.
Yeah.
And some people even said Ford, which that was crazy.
What's wrong with Ford?
Favorite player?
No, I know. I think we're gonna start seeing more Andujar's because I think Andujar being hurt all last season kind of that's when he took his backseat to Gleyber, and Gleyber kind of took over. But the year before, it was Andujar and Gleyber was a little flashier with the glove and everything. But
it was Andujar.
Andujar can flat out hit, and I think Andujar is gonna become some people's favorites after this.
I think if he played a full season last year, a lot of people would have him in the top as well. But I think he just it's the recency bias.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
People are quick to forget, and Damon just used my term that I enlightened him about.
Frequency bias?
Yeah.
Recency.
Or recency bias, sorry.
He was 10 years old when he realized that term. But
not
I think people are very quick to forget things. They like I don't know how people forget how good Andujar was. He was literally our MVP that year.
Yeah.
I mean, a full season gets in the way, and if you see part of it's because Gio stepped in, and we weren't necessarily missing him as much as we would have if Gio stunk. So that's part of it.
Yeah. So who was your favorite all-time Yankee?
That's a tough question.
That's such a tough question. Do you have one? Why I think because
I mean, probably gonna go. I mean, the fan pick is probably gonna be Jeter, and he definitely is my number 1, honestly. But if I was gonna go, a different route, probably go Swisher. I just love Swisher.
Yeah,
everything about him, he was just.
I'm gonna say just because one of my favorite players was Robinson Cano. He was just watching him field the baseball and hit the baseball was the smoothest thing I've ever watched in my entire life. Like his swing and him feeling that backhand ground ball and just flicking the wrist to first base. Him and then just like an older player would be Bernie.
Yeah. Bernie was on my thought. So this one's tough because I got to go with somebody that I've grew up kind of watching because it's hard not to. Like I could go back and say Thurman Munson because I love the story of Thurman Munson, but I never got to watch Thurman Munson. So I don't know if I could say he's my favorite. But sticking with catchers, I think my favorite's Jorge Posada.
Yeah.
I like he was a good fielding catcher, switch hitter. No batting gloves. I didn't wear batting gloves until I was in high school just because Jorge never wore batting gloves. I caught because Jorge was a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I wore 5 because my grandfather liked DiMaggio, but
Yeah, I wore 24 all throughout high school.
Yeah.
Cano was a good one too, though. Cano would have been.
Yeah, that's why Cano Damon reached on Cano in our all-time Yankees draft. He took him number 1 overall.
Yeah, well, I thought we were going on who we liked too, so that's why I picked him.
We were.
Not really a reach, so.
I mean, he was. That wasn't a bad pick because he was one of the best. Second base is a pretty historically thin position.
Yeah,
for the Yankees, and Cano's pretty good on that.
So who's your favorite? We'll just do another one. Last thing on the favorites. We'll do favorite current non-Yankee.
Mine's Acuna. I'm like Braves are my like second favorite team, and I just love watching them play. And I think Acuna is just electric to watch, and he's one of those guys that's going to be the face of the MLB for a long time.
Oh yeah,
because he plays with that fire under him, and that's the type of play that we need to see all the time. And he's like a good representation of where we want the MLB to be in 4 years.
I'm saying Lindor for very similar reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I love watching Lindor.
Go ahead.
It's just like I could never have a favorite player that's not smooth in the field.
Yeah,
basically, and he just fits that bill. There was talk of him coming to the Yankees in this past offseason, with no disrespect to Glaber, I had no problem bringing him into shortstop and sliding Glaber to third or second or wherever just to fit Lindor. I think he would fit really well on the Yankees if he ever were to come over, and B, he's just an outstanding player.
Yeah, I think it was interesting when Damon said, because this is something we've been talking about recently, like who's your favorite secondary team? Like who is your other team? Obviously, we're Yankees fans, but it's cool to have another team. And I like going NL route just so we have another team on the other side. And honestly, my favorite team and my favorite current player, not on the Yankees, is Nolan Arenado. I love Nolan Arenado, and I think that's my favorite secondary team. And it's cool to pick a secondary team because you don't really care if they lose, but it's fun to watch. So that's why I picked the Rockies as my secondary team, because like they're gonna lose a lot of games because their pitching sucks, but they are fun, very fun to watch offensively. So
yeah. It's also because like picking an NL team, not picking like following an NL team that you like to watch is also really cool, because I feel like last year when I watched so much NL baseball, which you don't typically get to watch all the time.
Yeah. I mean, when we get baseball back, I'm going to watch every game there. Yeah. I'm going to watch so much baseball.
I'm going to watch Padres Brewers at 1:00 on a Tuesday afternoon, and I'm going to love every second of it.
I would literally cut my leg off to watch the Orioles play the Mariners. Like any type of baseball, I wouldn't cut my leg off, but I'd like to watch any game possible. And when that game does happen, I'm going to watch every second of it. It's going to be great. But yeah, ending that. Why don't we get into our DMs and wrap this thing up?
Yeah, let's do it.
First DM we got was an interesting one. It was the walk-up song predictions, like maybe reflecting on what walk-up songs we've seen from the Yankees last year, and maybe make a little prediction on what they could end up doing. One that came to mind from last year, we've talked about it before. The walk-up song, Gio's walk-up song, is just like basically a Bible scripture. Like it was just a Bible, like a praise Jesus song. I think Gio goes that same route again. I think I don't have any song in mind, but maybe we have John Sterling read literally a Bible scripture. That could go. Like whenever Gio gets up there, he gets on the loudspeaker and he starts just reading out
gospel.
He reads
Spirit,
like
Spirit in the Sky or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Just like a chapter in the Bible, and that's Gio. And then if you're the pitcher and you hear that, John Sterling's voice saying that, what do you do?
Just angels in the outfield, man. Angels.
You intentionally walk him every time.
Just let the ball fly.
I don't know. So I had one. So not a very specific and old-fashioned taste in music. So not a lot of. I didn't know half the songs that Yankees walked up to. But Gardy had this like a Luke Bryan country song, and so I thought it'd be funny if, sticking with the country thing, he had "Ain't As Good As I Once Was" by Toby Keith, because the whole premise of the song is I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was, which I think would fit Gardy's season. Like he's coming back for one more. He's not the young Gardy, but like, say he steps up, hits a grand slam or something. Good once as he ever was.
Wow. I
thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, you went deep with that one.
That's deep.
That's really deep, Murphy.
Yeah, no, that was the only one that I was like, oh, that'd be kind of funny. And
I'm going with Aaron Judge, because his walk-up song was the smoothest thing I've ever heard. Was the bang, and then it was All Rise, and then Through the Late Night played, which
that wasn't his last year.
I know.
That was 2 years ago, but that was still awesome.
That was my favorite walk-up song because I'm a diehard Kid Cudi fan. Yeah. And Kid Cudi and Travis Scott just came out with a new song called The Scots a couple days ago. So recent news, that's going to be the song. No doubt in my mind.
You think? Lock it in?
Lock it in, no doubt in my mind.
Placed your bets?
All on the Scots. The Scots are Gonna take it home.
What was his last year? Was it the Pure Water?
I don't know. I think it was a Drake. I don't know. I think it was a Drake song, maybe.
It wasn't as good as 2 years ago. Was it his rookie year?
Yeah, Feel Late Night was just so smooth.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah,
it was so smooth with the
Judge last year.
Last year's wasn't good. I remember it wasn't as good. The one that's interesting. What route is
it? Was Mustard, Pure Water.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, I didn't really like that as much, but an interesting one. Does DJ go the same route? Because that was a shock to the world. DJ comes out with the speed it up.
I hope he keeps it. I hope it's the same thing.
You want an exact same song.
Exactly the same. I think that whenever I listen to that song now, it resonates exactly with DJ LeMahieu getting up to bat. And I think
now it does. But when you first heard that,
it's so perfect.
When you first heard that, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like when DJ LeMahieu walks up there, Joe Random, you are not expecting
that.
I have my eyes closed. I'm like, all right, I think Aaron Hicks is probably getting up right now. Like,
yeah, if you had your eyes,
yeah, my eyes closed. Yeah.
I was looking at just kind of some walk-up songs from around the league, just to see if any would be cool if one of the Yankees guys did it instead. Now I didn't know this. You guys might have, but Ohtani's walk-up song when he's hitting is the Game of Thrones theme song.
Is it?
Yeah. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I thought that was so cool.
I've been talking about, I think I said that to somebody. Like, somebody should do that. That'd be.
Yeah, no, he did.
Like, imagine you walk up to the Game of Thrones theme song. Like, you can do.
I think I was kind of disappointed because he has that when he's batting, but I think it would be cooler if he did it when he was pitching. But I guess he doesn't really come out of the bullpen, so I guess that's why, because it actually comes on.
When he warms up, he could probably play it.
Yeah,
I guess, but like it's not as cool to warm up as it is to walk on.
That's wild.
You know?
That's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. My other favorite was Charlie Blackmon had "Your Love" by the Outfield. Thought that was a really cool one too.
I knew you.
Classic.
Big fan of that.
Like a Murphy favorite song. That's why it was the classic. I mean, he looks like he should be having a nice country song. Like Brett Gardner, I expect.
It's not a country song.
Is it not?
No, not a country song.
It's like it's Josie's on a vacation far away.
Yeah, I like that song.
That one. Yeah. You will never ever get me to sing into a microphone ever again.
Why?
So enjoy it.
I guarantee I will. I guarantee I will. Mark my words. I will get you to sing into the microphone again.
Next Tuesday, everybody, we're gonna do Murphy's Got Talent. We're gonna have just start singing anything.
Can we all come up with a skill, like a hidden skill, and just have like a hidden skill for 10 minutes?
Yeah, we gotta find one.
I think Murphy's gonna do that. Murphy's gonna have his two skills are having great hats that that are broken, and having a good voice.
Murph can teach how to make a fire at halftime.
I don't think I was saying to you before we got on air, that hat is like it needs to be broken. It can't be like a hat that's like perfectly fine. Like it was
Wayne's World.
Well, this was funny. So before we got on to actually record, we were on trying to set this all up, and I was like looking around, and I'm home obviously for the quarantine, and I'm like, I'm recording a video show to be released on the internet in my mom's basement. I feel like I'm on Wayne's World. And then it occurred to me that I have a Wayne's World hat. So I'm wearing it.
I don't blame you.
Art.
My mom's basement.
There's Murphy for you.
My mom's basement. So yeah.
Last thing I wanted to close this out with was Damon, since it was just interesting. Damon got famous recently. Damon went viral.
I did to all my
Damon.
Yeah, it's first time for everything. You know, I want to thank my
I'm owner,
my 3 followers who were sticking around for me from the beginning. Do you want me to go into it? Yeah,
go into it. I mean, Damon, you're not a
keep in mind keep in mind about a month ago, we all received a text. How do you use Twitter from Damon?
I did,
and a month later, he made it. He figured it out.
I was like, how do you get like your comment above someone else's tweet? And I was like, is that a retweet? Like, do I press something different? Is there a tweet? Do I need to update my phone? I was like, what do I do? Is it my Wi-Fi connection?
And it's interesting that this is the one that went viral for you because you're not a math guy. Everybody should know that about Damon. Damon's not a math guy. This isn't a math pod, but Damon's definitely not a math guy.
Yeah. So
first time owner of a viral tweet. Here we are, Damon.
So the tweet was a picture of Garrett Cole's house, and it was like a live look at Garrett Cole's $5.6 million mansion in Greenwich, Connecticut. And I was like, $5.6 million. I was like, I remember seeing some breakdown of his contract about how much money he makes per game or whatever. So I was like, let me try and figure out how many strikeouts this guy needs to pay off his house. So according to the math, Garrett Cole needs to strike out 51 players to pay for a $5.6 million mansion. Yes, I did the math.
It's about 4 games.
That is about 4 games if he's consistent. 4 good games.
That's wild.
Yep. Yeah. What does he do the rest of the 158 games? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But all right, that's it from me. Anybody else have anything?
I think that's it. Thank everybody for joining on the first live episode. We'll be live again soon. And for everyone who's watching, who probably isn't that much right now, live trivia tonight at 8:30. Yeah. Be there.
We will be joined by Kevin Fuller and Matt Barletta.
Yes, live trivia tonight.
We've been doing that every week, and it's been a lot of fun. So we've been doing just Jeopardy boards, anything baseball, not just Yankees related. So if you're tuning in with us live right now, if you're listening on the podcast, we're going to start doing it every week because we don't have baseball for a little bit. So
even when baseball starts up again, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's a fun time. We're big trivia guys. We might as well just have some fun with you guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
So if we, I don't know, we might end up getting you guys on. Maybe Coach can play some trivia with us. So
come back 8:30 tonight.
8:30. See you guys there.